My name is Ross Hardiman. I'm a creative misfit and I'm from the Misfits. I studied finance. I worked in the bank for a year, knew it wasn't for me. At the time, the kind of Celtic tiger was going, so I went into, just worked in construction, bit of money to be made, and then I was in a band, to kind of try that avenue for a while. And then my friend was a creative director, and he asked me to do a voiceover. And that was the first time I even knew about advertising, so I went into a studio and did a voiceover for him, and I was just looking around going, this is a pretty cool job, like what is this job? He's like, oh, I'm a creative director, I'm a copywriter. I was like, what's that? So he told me that day. And then I went and did the evening course in DIT a long time ago. Got into it that way, yeah. The Misfits is essentially myself, Nader and Asa, I guess are the founders, and a guy called Gabby as well. And then we have a team in like VFX, so 3D guy, compositors, all that kind of lighting, shading. And then we have this guy called Chris, who basically does a bit of everything. He's like a ninja. And it's a team effort. And you know, me and Nader, I essentially handle the creative, and we're very different in terms of the way we think and stuff, but then also Chris can come up, it is like anyone can come up with a good idea, and then the team will help you execute it. So yeah, you're nothing without a team, like you're just one person, and even to have an idea to bounce off someone, because sometimes you need to be told that your idea is terrible, like no, this is terrible, and then you're like, take a step back and you're like, yeah, that's terrible, what was I thinking? Or you give it the overnight test. But yeah, once you find your flow within a team and they're not scared to tell you this is crap, or you're not scared to tell them, I don't think there's anything in this, you know, because if you're in an agency, sometimes everyone's just being polite, and everyone, like, even when you're showing something like an ad that the other teams have made, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, that's really good, yeah, that's cool, yeah. Whereas within the Misfits, like, this is terrible, you know, and that blunt kind of honesty and directness, clients have come back to us going, oh, that's a breath of fresh air, like, because most agencies will kind of just, you know, kiss their feet and go, oh, yeah, well, it's amazing, just to kind of get the business. Whereas we'll be like, oh, we think your stuff is terrible, like we can't, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it's gone in our favor. You know, it's kind of the treat them mean, keep them keen kind of relationship cliche, but it actually worked so far. Yeah, so like this is not a set of guidelines to follow. We've done it the wrong way and the right way along, and it's kind of worked for us, so I won't be writing a book. Like our main mission was to keep having fun, and we only do stuff that we think is fun and that I would actually happily show to someone at a dinner party or whatever. And the first couple of years were tough because we turned away jobs, you know, where there was money involved, but it was something really boring, like a Ramadan ad where it's an emotional journey of a mother and her child, and we were like, Jesus, like that's not something we can, you know, direct or even think about or add value to. So yeah, we didn't sell out, but that now goes in our favor because we kind of created a brand for ourselves, which is quirky, weird, you know, funny, whatever it might be, kind of adolescent humor, I think is the best description. And now people come to us for that. So the kind of, you know, the battles are almost won already. It's not like you have to convince someone to do something crazy if they're coming going, oh, we want what you've done on the slingshot, or, you know, the whale in the marina, or whatever the kind of crazy stuff is. So by not selling out, even though it was tough at the start, it's now benefiting us in the jobs we're getting. Creative director is just the person that will kind of lead the project in a managerial way. It's not fun, particularly. Being the creatives are fun, but as you step up to a creative director role, you just have to make sure this side of the fence is happy and this side of the fence. So I'd say it's more organization, but you also have to be good in case your team lets you down or the process lets you down. You have to be strong if you need to go to the client and change stuff or anything. So it's someone just steering the ship, the captain of the boat, really. And just to clarify, like I know it's on my LinkedIn profile, I'm a creative director, but like we're a small team and we actually don't really have titles. So I don't, like, I'm a creative director. It's kind of good to say at a dinner table, but we're all in it together, and that's what I like about the kind of the Misfits. An average day now, I'm in Ireland, but the company I set up with my friends is based in Dubai. So do you know what? Before COVID, it was pretty much the same for me because I was working from home. So except it was a 3-hour time difference, so I was probably getting up a bit earlier, working away. But it depends, you know, it depends what process of a job. So if it's in the ideation process, it's just coming up with ideas, you know, working towards a timeline of presenting. If it's in the production side, when I'm over in Dubai, then you're out. And because we kind of do everything ourselves in terms of production, could be doing anything from driving to the mountains, location scouting, wardrobing. And then if it's a day of shoot, you're on set, you're doing all that. And then if it's in the editing, you know, the post-production phase, you're just managing all that stuff. So every day's different. That's why I kind of like this industry, you know. Every challenge is new. Proudest moment, I guess we did this ad in Dubai for Kareem. It was a slingshot, and it was pretty risky at the time, and there was we nearly got in a lot of trouble with the Dubai government, but that ended up doing really well, and the Dubai government ended up giving us a social media award for it, which was cool. And we were also, when we started in Dubai, we were kind of laughed at a bit by the ad industry. So that year, the Kareem Slingshot won at Cannes, which put us on the map of other agencies going, oh wow, who are these guys? And then we also won the Film Grand Prix that year, and we got booed on stage by the industry because they were so annoyed that like we, with our iPhones, kind of that was their mentality, like who are these guys filming stuff on their iPhones? So yeah, getting booed on stage at the Lynx. When we were walking up to take the thing, a certain portion of the audience started booing us. And purely because they had put a lot of money into kind of scammy, proactive stuff. Like, you're talking millions of dollars they put into films just to try and win that award. And they thought our stuff was garbage. So we got booed, but the next morning we were hungover and we made this video called The Art of Filmmaking. It's on our website, and it was just taking the piss out of the industry, like making us look like idiots. And that actually went out and went kind of viral amongst the industry. So we got a lot of kudos for that. So I think a lot of people in the Dubai and the Middle East industry, it made up for it by doing The Art of Filmmaking. So yeah, The Art of Filmmaking was a proud moment as well. Creative outlets, I write, so I'm writing a TV show and a movie, two different things. I play music, they're my kind of creative outlets. And in terms of exercise is brilliant, so I do keep fit as much as I can, go for runs and stuff, but just also immerse yourself in what's going on culture-wise, what videos are being shared, like what's going on TikTok and the likes, even though, you know, I'm too old for it, but it's good to know what's trending and stuff, and yeah, it's just fun stuff. And the best creators out there aren't in the ad industry. They're like kids that are just scattered across the world, so it's good to see what people are doing on YouTube, and that's where you get inspiration from. But credit them if you're copying them. So if I could go back and tell my 18-year-old self, it'd be like, follow your passion, which I think is with directing and like into movies, writing movies and all that stuff. I think there was too much onus put on me at the time, but I think my generation of kind of like, get a job for life, you know, get a job in the bank, get a retirement pension and all that kind of stuff. And it wasn't exactly like follow your passions and follow your dreams. I was big into music at the time, but like my parents, God loved them and I loved them. They wouldn't have let me do music. And then in Ireland, there's no like arts or, you know, drama or film schools necessarily. There probably is, but like you're just taught, you know, you never make money in that. Even advertising, it's kind of my day-to-day job, but my dream would be to be writing a TV show. And like Ricky Gervais, he just writes his thing, puts it out there, makes loads of money, and then on to the next, you know, season or whatever it is. So that's the dream.